Greetings, everybody. It is I, Clock TV, and welcome back to your favorite clock channel. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, is today that day? Is it time we move forward? Why, yes. Yes, it is. Today is March 8th, 2025. I know, it's crazy. It felt like November was just a little while ago. But this has come up really fast. It's hard to believe it's already March. And you know what that means. We unfortunately lose an hour. So that means an hour less of sleep. Yippee. But enough talk about that. We got a lot of clocks to change in here. And I tell you, it's a lot. So, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. I don't want to keep you all waiting. But yes, it is March 8th, 2025, and I'm going to be changing all of these clocks with y'all. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. Of course, we have to start out with the grandfather clocks. I mean, why wouldn't I? They're a staple in my collection. And, of course, the number one grandfather clock is Colonial. So, we're going to do just that. Okay, one down. Now let's go do our next door neighbor, Emperor. Oop, I thought I turned it too fast for a second. All right, the two grandfather clocks have been changed. Let's move on. Moving up to the top shelf, we have the new Hade. So let's go ahead and do this one. This one's pretty complicated to change because the hands thing is really tight and it takes a lot of pressure. Okay, we got that one done. The skeleton clock is already changed, so we shall come down here and do this one. And this one. Movement's looking a little loose. Come down here and do this one. There's that one. We have this one right here, which appears to be working now. It initially did not work. We got this alarm clock right here. Okay, now we have my sessions. Just occurred to me I forgot this one up here. Okay, there we go. This entire shelf has been changed. And while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and change this one real quick. And then we shall move on to the next section. And just like that. Now let's come to this shelf and get these three mantle clocks. We're going to start out with the Rocks Hall, which we can simply just do this, because it's time only. Here we have Ingram. Simply, we can just do this. Okay, there we go. We're going to come down here and get these. This one is a little complicated to change. I apologize. There we go. Let's get this one now. There we go. I'll fix the leg in a second. Let's come down here and get this. And I think that's just about everything on this shelf. So there we go. That is done. Here we have this heading indicator clock. A very cool one indeed. And I'm glad I was able to get my hands on one of these. But there we go. It's changed. Here we have the Arbor and Emery clock. It's a pretty basic one. Not the most exciting clock, but it's still nice to have one. Here we have this fascinating one, which we're going to go ahead and change. See that? Yeah, that is a very cool hour hand. But with that said, let's come on over to the cuckoo clock wall. We're first going to start out with this one. This is the only time you're going to see this one in a video because I will soon be giving this back to its owner because this is on loan from someone. I was repairing it. And there you go. All the cuckoo clocks and the banjo have been changed. Well, it appears that my wireless clocks have already changed themselves, so I guess we can skip these. So let's come down here and get these few ones, like this pendulum one, for example. Classic, I've had that since I was a little kid. But here we have the Bim Bam. Another rather iconic one in my collection. I'm going to come over here and briefly do this one because we're right here. And there we go. And then, of course, the giant Sterling and Noble wall clock. I can just reach back here and just like that. It's 23. And there we go. Now it's onwards to the Howard Miller Sandringham. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, there we go. These 3 iconic wall clocks have been changed. And here it is, my iconic Howard Miller Lawyer 2. But first, let's change the Cassell. Now let's do the lawyer. All right, we got these done. Now let's come down here and fix my big ogie. And there we go. Here we have the Shindaiwa clock, which I managed to get off the wall. And it is as simple as changing it like this. There we go. Now it's time for this Korean 8-day rip-off Vienna regulator. Whoops. right, I got those done. Okay, let's get started on my mantle clocks. Wow, that was a lot. And yes, the Thomas Tompion did stop chiming. It was out of power. But it appeared to have corrected itself. But last but not least, let's go over here and do my Howard Miller Graham bracket. Okay, all of my mantle clocks have been changed. And now we have my 3 Schoolhouse regulator wall clocks, excluding the Spoogel because that one does not do Westminster and I already changed it. Okay, the Hamiltons have been changed. Let's do the Howard Miller. And there we go, the 3 Schoolhouse clocks done. Now for the clocks from the top wall. First things first, this snow-themed one. Just like that. Now it's time for yet another snowman-themed one. It's as simple as that. Now it's time for this bird-themed clock. As per usual, it's battery operated, so it's as simple as that. Here we have this homemade wood clock that I made. I wouldn't really call it homemade because this block of wood was pre-made and I bought it from a craft store, you could say. But there you go. Ah, yes, another clock with my name on it. Golly, it's been a while since I got this thing. Just like that. Ah, yes, now there's my Calvin and Holmes clock. There we go. And then there's my mustache clock. Nothing too fancy, but still kind of funny. Just like that. And then we just have this very basic and bland quartz clock. Nothing exciting at all. It's as simple as that. And now we have finally made it to the Mascot. Let's do it. And just like that, the Mascot is done. Oops, I almost forgot about my trusty Timex Iron Man. Let's go ahead and do that. I misclicked. And there you have it, changing the trusty Timex Iron Man. And here's a clock that I almost forgot about. That's right, it's my Black Forest Mantle clock, which y'all haven't seen in a while. It is currently not in the shop. It is up here in the living room because we needed a living room clock. I also have it silenced right now because the chime is messed up. But with that said, there we go. Well, we have made it to this moment. About a little over 100 clocks later, we have finally made it to the end of the video, where every clock has been changed 1 hour ahead. And unfortunately, that means we lose an hour of sleep. And as someone who likes to sleep in on weekends, this is going to be a huge pet peeve. But on the plus side, everything in here has been changed. And boy, am I glad of that. So, I thank you all for sticking around for the entire video. It was definitely a long one, but I had a lot of fun making it. And as per usual, changing the clocks. It's a hefty task for me, but I still enjoy making this video for you all. And hopefully we can continue for a little while longer. But with that said, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for hopping on here. And make sure to watch the behind the scenes live stream that I did as well. I will have it linked in the description. But with that said, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's free and you can always change your mind later. But with that said, I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.